What's up, guys? I have a 06 G35 coupe automatic. So it's a DE, it's a non-rev up. I just did the baseline and damn, this thing is running really horrible. So I did not finish the pull, so it put the most 226, but again I did not finish the pull. But there was absolutely no point because it's running really bad, and you can tell by the mid-range. And when I let off roughly 6,000, 59, 6,000, it's just running really horrible. And I could hear the engine pinging, and the computer, when I look at the log, obviously like it's doing all sorts of crazy stuff. So it actually took it's running so bad it took full control. So there's no tune right now, but obviously the computer controls everything. But it has certain, the way the computer works, kind of does what it wants in a way, but its safety completely took over and did not let it produce any power. And other than that, obviously, like I said, the pinging. So I'm gonna go ahead and tune it. Hopefully nothing's wrong with the motor. I just feel like it just needs a tune really badly. This one has a cold air intake, test pipes, and dual exhaust. Has no plenum spacer. All right, guys, let's see what it does now. That's a big difference. If you look at that, all it needs is a tune. But the way it's being tuned right now, it's basically the motor is not in the best shape. So there's a lot of factors on why that could be. Maybe it was tuned before, they didn't know what they were doing, but this one didn't have a tune, but of course it could be deleted. But that's probably not the case. I feel like it never had a tune. The aftermarket parts on a DE, usually on a DE it gets affected the most than like on DE and HR. It gets more affected with no tune than if it's a VHR, but still you should always tune them for the parts you have. So I feel like, unfortunately, this motor is not in the best shape to make the normal power. So even by the time I'm done, if it does make the normal power, it will still struggle to make it. But for sure, he's gonna feel a huge difference. So finally able to take it to red line. The newest line is the purple one up there, and there's no pinging, there's no knock. All that is now fixed and is making way more power. And yes, the knock sensor is on. So see, if you turn it off, if you're tuning and you turn it off, you don't know what you're doing, which is the majority of these new tuners out there claiming that they've been tuning for a long time. That's what's going to happen. So look at how the stock computer was working to prevent detonation for the motor to blow, and it was still making noises, and that was with the computer in full control of itself. So imagine when these, you know, like wannabe tuners just turn it off because they don't know what they're doing. Unless you're an actual expert, you're a pro, you can turn it off because you know what you're doing. That's something only a real tuner would understand. But if you don't know what you're doing, just don't even turn off the knock sensor. Like, you literally save the motor. So as you saw this motor, I'm telling you, it's horrible. Not the motor. Well, maybe now it's bad with the way it's been running before. So hopefully the motor still lasts them, but it's actually a lot safer now. But if you turn off the knock sensor, it's not gonna control anything in the event it needs to save itself. So it's just however the car was tuned. Yeah, hello. So yeah. All right, so these are the final numbers. See those big gains right there. Once I explain everything to him, I'll just select those areas and see how much it made. And then right here, I don't know, you're looking at 15, 20 wheel horsepower, something like that. Probably the same over there. Probably the same over there. But we'll see. Alright, here's some of the gains. 23 wheel horsepower gain. And then the torque, it gained 32 wheel. That RPM. Alright guys, I have this 2010 G37 6-speed. Oh, is that for me? Yeah, so 2010 G37 6-speed, currently tuned by somebody else. I'm gonna look up the city they're in and see if they tune these cars or not. Pretty often I'm gonna say no, because I just did a pull and looked at the log, and there's some things in there that I can tell that they're not used to the software, or they just don't know how to tune. I don't know. But this the owner of this car messaged me, told me it was tuned by, and he gave me their name. Has misfire codes when he's driving, the light flashes. This one was actually able to show me while I was doing the pull. The light was flashing during the pull. This one I was able to take it to redline. Sorry, I was flashing. I was able to take it to redline. It's on 91, still in Gen 3 intakes, test pipes, exhaust. They put 272 wheel, 239 torque. Power is it's somewhat there. It could perform better, but the tune is causing the issues. This was verified by me, and also there's a little counter in the software. If you're a tuner, you watch my stuff, I know some of you do. There's a little counter in there, tells you when something's wrong. There's a certain amount that it should not say, and this one kind of was overdone. For example, I know some of you don't know what I'm talking about, but for example, something in the log will show you, you know, numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where I guess everything's numbers, but it shows you a certain parameter, and it should only say, it should only go up to maybe 5 at the most. So anywhere from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is reading like 35. So that's overdone. So that's probably what's causing the misfire. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix all that for him, and we'll see what it does after. All right, just did the first pull, first adjustments. We are now at 277. We gained 5.7 wheel horsepower off of the first adjustments. Let me review everything and make some changes. All right guys, second adjustment. It now made 10.5 wheel horsepower more over the other shop's tune. Alright, so it's now making 285 wheel. We are 12.8 wheel horsepower over the other person's tune, and I just looked them up on Google. They do a variety of cars. They're here in SoCal, so they don't focus on VQs. So it's just what I thought, that they just don't work on these cars, so they don't focus on them. That's why I was having all these issues. They're not used to it. You know, every car is different for tuning, so they might have the software for it, doesn't mean you know how to tune that specific car. All right, and this is the final pull. 285 wheel horsepower, 244 torque, gain 13.6 wheel horsepower peak, 4.7 torque to the wheels, and then more over there. Today's a very hot day. So this car, with the mods it has, it should have made a little more on our dyno, since it's on 91. Probably, you know, in the 290s, you watch my videos, somewhere in the 290s, and then depending on the condition of the motor, it could have hit 300, a little over 300. Just it really varies on the motor, but on average, most of the older VHRs, now we can say that there's older ones, they'll hit roughly this amount right here. Hello, Muñaño?
Oh, it's making too much power. You need to go to a different tuner.
Oh. Well, it made less power somewhere else. So yeah, the car should have made more. I don't know that's how the condition of the motor was before he took it somewhere else, you know, but you go somewhere and they don't know what they're doing. So that's why you, like I always say, you have to go to someone who knows what they're doing, not just like cloud chasers or new tuners. And these new tuners are out there trying to get clout by negativity, by talking bad on other people, and you know, things like that. You guys know what I'm talking about. You know, people get clout, they get known, they get famous off of negativity, and they feed off of it, and you guys feed them too. This one, I don't know if it was the tune that caused it. I don't know the history. I didn't ask him how long it was tuned by these other people, by this other shop. It could be the motor was already messed up and this is what it was going to produce anyways, or it could be that the tune caused it, but I haven't asked them how long it's been tuned with them. So, but either way, it gained a lot more power over here and no more misfiring, no check engine lights flashing, so he's good to go.